Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't want to interrupt, but Gina, you were telling me just a little bit about Megan off camera, but I was just curious if you can tell me a little bit more about her, what you know, and then Megan, I'm very curious to hear more about you as well
Yeah,
afterwards.
yeah.
Let me see. So her and I got together through a mutual friend of ours. Her name's Sage Gwendolyn. Is that her last name? Sage Gwendolyn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
yeah.
And so yeah, we just kind
Coincidence.
of partnered. We kind of partnered up as practice buddies. I do my healing modality with her, and then we would trade, and she would, do like a mini reading for me. And through the course of that practice, I've had so much healing just from her working with like my guides, in particular, like with my mom situation and with family members and stuff. And it's been really, really incredible. Actually,
Wow.
I'm really glad I got to meet Megan. She's so cool.
Oh, that's
Thank
so
you.
cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you. And thanks for having me on. I'm excited. Any opportunity to talk about this, it's my passion, So I'm like, yes, I will absolutely love to talk about mediumship. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's been really fun with Gina, just swapping and exchanging weird stories, right? Like I just love to talk
Oh, yeah.
about, don't talk to me about the weather, like what's your deepest, darkest secret? Like I want to know.
I
What
love
mean?
that.
I just, don't get me wrong, like there's a time and a place for those conversations, but I love the weird. I love the unexplained. Always have. And like I think when you stumble into this kind of atmosphere, you start to like line up things like that you've always known about yourself. Like I've always loved the Addams Family. I always was interested in aliens. You know what I mean? Like you just, as things start making sense, and you're like, oh, okay, that checks out. That now I am in this realm of what would you call it? Like metaphysical? I don't know. I would call it taboo still.
Oh yeah.
And I think we're in the process of changing that, which I'm excited about. And so yeah, any opportunity to talk about it, I'm here. Yeah.
Awesome.
So when did it all kind of start for you? Because I'm always curious of people's origin stories. Like when did it all kind of start for you, and when did you really start diving into what you discovered?
Yeah. So my story is a little unique. I didn't always talk to spirits. I had a few things happen when I was younger. Like I saw shadow people, but it wasn't always, something about me. So in 2021, I had a spiritual awakening, and I mean, it was just kind of like a redefining of what I believe to be true. And I kind of opened the floodgates when it came to that. And I was like, well, if this is true, then what else is true? And I just went from there. You know what I mean? So coincidentally, 2 months after that, a friend invites me to this mediumship development course, and it's like $15. And I'm like, sure, why not? And I didn't even really know what I was getting myself into at that time, but she ends up bailing on me, and I go by myself because I'm like, it's $15, F it, why not? And I was able to make a connection on the very first try. It was incredible. And like, the way I felt when I discovered mediumship, I was like, oh, this is for me. This is what I've been looking for. I don't know. It just lit me up from head to toe. And I was like, I'm going to come back. Not only am I going to come back, but I am like voraciously reading about, and like wanting to learn about it. And I buy all these books. And so it just, I don't know. It snowballed. And so here I am 5 years later. I have my own business. I'm still working 9 to 5. I still have a 9 to 5. But I mean, I've actually integrated them both. So like,
Oh, nice.
I've read people at my 9 to 5, and the worlds are starting to merge. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at now. Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like what you're meant to be doing when it happens that easily and you feel supported by the universe. Like obviously it's what you're supposed to do. I'm curious. So you took that class and you said you made a connection right away. Like can you tell me a little bit about that? Like how did that feel? What was the experience of it?
So yeah, I mean, the teacher who is now my mentor have been for 5 years. I just never stopped going. I was just like, I'm here forever. You know, as long as you're having this class, I'm here. You know what I mean? So it was a gentleman that I got the first time, and I remember. So she kind of throws you in. She gives you a little talk, and then she's like, "Okay, now we're gonna separate into groups, and you're gonna read each other." And you're like, "What?" And so my first question was like, "What if we can't?" Like, you know, like,
Right.
and she's like, "Just try, just have fun with it." You know, like, the worst that can happen is you get nothing, and it is what it is. Like, there's no judgment, there's no pressure. And so I kind of gave myself a permission slip to just see, right? And it was a guy, and he was an older gentleman, and I remember he fell. I sensed overalls. I don't know if he actually wore overalls, but I felt something running around my legs, like something small running around my legs, and I was like, did he have a dog or puppies? And so then come to find out, it was like an old family friend, and he was a farmer. And so hence the overalls, I think, was a correlation. And he had chickens. It was chickens. And I was like, oh, that's what's running around my feet. Like, so it was like, I felt like I was him in that moment, you know?
Oh,
That's interesting.
okay.
It's interesting that you speak as if a lot of things were symbolic to the meaning. And I've noticed that a lot in, things that I pick up on is a lot of it's symbolic, and you don't quite understand what the feeling is, what the idea is, until it clicks through somebody else.
Yes.
And then they can provide you with that clarity. So it's like, it's weird how nothing comes through like super clear for me anyways. And it's always like a puzzle piece you have to try to put together.
And that's what I love about it, actually. But now, I think now I'm leaning towards just word vomiting and hoping that it makes sense, because I'm fully convinced that we're dealing with an intelligence, right? And this intelligence knows more than I do, and knows more than you do, and knows more than whoever's on the other side of the screen, right? So lately I've been just like, okay, what's next? And like, I don't know what it's going to be. And it takes a tremendous amount of trust to do that, because sometimes I'll say wacky shit, like, I'm seeing cheese. Like one time I was like, I see cheese, and I'm like, I'm just gonna say it, it's weird. And I'd come to find out she was a diabetic, and she was like not eating right. And she's like, okay, so cheese is actually a really good snack for diabetics, and it like would keep their blood sugar in check or something. And she knew that she had to do this, and she hadn't been eating well, So I was like, okay, you just don't know until you say it out loud,
Yeah, I agree. And actually, I don't want to like, take over, but like I have a story very similar to that, where a lot of times I'll have these auditory things as I'm falling asleep, and it's like a radio station playing, and like every voice is different, and it's like this radio station that keeps flipping. I never get to hear a full conversation, and it's just random little bits like, go up the tree. But did you see that? It's like little stuff. And so often I'll go to bed listening to the TV because I don't want to hear it all night long. It keeps me up because I get involved in whatever I'm hearing. And so one night I was laying there, I was like, I just want to listen to, all this stuff that comes through. And I'm laying there and I hear somebody say, and the cadence was da 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 da. And it was like da 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 da, robot circles. And I was like, and I understood what it said in the moment, but the only thing that really stuck in my head as I was falling asleep was robot circles. And I was like, that's so weird. Robot circles, what does that mean? So I had a friend that I was really leaning heavily on with this kind of stuff. So I was telling him about it. I was like, it's really like, I always pay attention to the stuff that really sticks to me. Like, and that really stuck to me. I was like, it said da 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 robot circles. And he goes, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. Well, he does a podcast. And he goes, well, I was recording for the podcast, and me and this other person was talking about robot circles. And I was like, are you serious? Because yeah. And so he's like, you'll hear it when the episode airs. And it was just like, of all things to like pick up on, why that? Like that was so weird. But
that is crazy.
Yeah. So I guess it was about the same time when I heard it that they were recording. So
oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. So like
weird.
That leads me to all kinds of other questions. Like, were you there astrally?
Like, I can't say I've ever astral traveled. I just hear these things. No, I'm not. I wasn't asleep. I was like falling. It's like this period of
Okay.
time where I just kind of let myself relax. And then I start hearing it come in slowly, quietly, and then it gets louder. And then it becomes like it's right there in the room. And
That's
that's,
fascinating.
and then finally I fade off to sleep. Yeah.
Huh. Very clairaudient with
Yeah.
your ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. That is so cool.
Yeah. It
Huh.
was really weird. But yeah, you never know until you talk to somebody about it and see if it clicks. Like you were saying, just of all things, why would I bring that up? And it just,
And that's very specific and random too.
yes, I know.
That's great.
Maybe a
Okay.
part of you is astral traveling. Like our mutual friend Sage, she told me one time, she's like, you're really good at going astrally traveling into someone's body, and you can look and see what the issues are with people medically. Like you could look at someone's liver, you could have a conversation with someone's lungs or something like that. And I was like, what? I can't do that. And she's like, oh yeah, you can. Just try it. Like just try it. And like Megan said, the less effort you put into it and you're like, all right, I'm just going to do it, it seems to work so much better. And so I connected with Sage with her energy body, and I didn't see anything, but I definitely got feelings and impressions and like saw words in my mind. So I feel like you probably were astral traveling, or at least part of you was.
I mean, maybe I just do it without realizing or paying attention. I don't know. I
Mm.
always just attributed it to like almost like a global consciousness. And since I
Yeah.
knew him, I was in a sort connected to him. And I've always thought, what if all these different random voices and um weird half sentences I get are like me just picking up on like, the global knowledge, like what's already floating out
Mhm.
there happening in that moment. And I mean,
Right.
to me, it sounds crazy, but that's the only thing I can attribute it to because I mean, it's just constant. It's just all these different, like, and no voice is ever the same. I've never really heard the same voice come through more than once, you know?
Mm. Yeah. I've
Huh.
definitely had that same experience happen where you're falling asleep and all of a sudden you hear all this weird stuff. And you're just like you said, like partial sentences
Yeah.
and just or like a song or like one time I had somebody come in and we had a whole conversation. And this is the only time that's
Wow.
happened where, yeah, it was so strange. And I still don't know who it was, but they were talking about the energy of different negative emotions and how they affect your body, like specifically
Oh,
regret and grief and stuff like that, and how it kind of seeps into your cartilage and your bones and your joints, and that's kind of what causes stuff like arthritis. And I was like,
that makes a lot of
really?
sense.
Wow.
It does.
So
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Huh.
but most of the time
Wow.
it's just like little snippets of
Yeah.
phrases or
Yeah, exactly. Just like that. Yeah.
right.
That's really cool. I think what you said, Gina, to add to that about being relaxed, about being open-minded and like playing, and my spirit guides and spirit in general, I have found loves when you play games, when you explore. They love it when you're like childlike. They almost want
Mhm.
you to be childlike. And so I tell a lot of my clients, I'm like, do it for the fun of it. Like, who cares? Like, we put so much pressure on ourselves all the time to be perfect right out the gate. And kids just aren't like that. They're like, is it fun? Okay. And they
I
do
like
it until
that.
it's fun. And then the moment it stops being fun, they drop it,
Mm.
And so I don't know. I give my clients that permission slip a lot. Like, just do it for the fun and curiosity. What you're curious about is not a coincidence. It's like
Mhm.
there's a reason.
That's so
You know what I
true.
mean?
Mm.
And so, yeah, I think, well, it's kind of along the lines of Bashar. You guys know Bashar, right?
Mhm.
That he's a channeler. What's his actual name? Daryl something.
Jail Anka.
Yeah. So he says he's got a 5-step formula, and it's basically the same thing. It's basically just follow your passion, follow your excitement as far as you can take it. And I love that. That's one of my definite like go-tos that I tell almost everyone I talk to. Yeah.
I love that.
Did you have resistance to that when you first heard, like the first time you heard that? Because I definitely did. I was like, fun? Hell, I don't even know what fun is. I'm an adult,
I know, because I'm a good time right now, like as it is. Like, I'm the one bringing the fun. Like, that's my vibe.
Oh,
Anyway,
you've always been like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like, I don't know.
I'll-
I just think it's very easy for me to have fun. I like to laugh anywhere. If you're funny, like I want to hang out with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just more fun.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know, it's getting back to the simplicity of it. We have all these layers of like trauma and stuff that we've been through and stuff that's changed us, right? And made us serious. And I think we could all benefit from like doing things that we like to do as a kid, like blowing bubbles or, you know, talking to trees. Like, I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm convinced it's like a secret that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
You knew about it.
Yeah, but I'm shouting it from the rooftops.
Yeah. It's so weird though. Like, I love fun. I love watching silly stuff. I love having fun friends. But I think a big part of me was kind of programmed when I was a kid to like, you got to hold it all together. You need to, you know what I mean? Especially when you have kind of codependent or enmeshed families. And it's like, you have to be the parent that sometimes, you know, it changes things. And so for me, it was definitely more of like a process, learning how to play. Because I think a big part of me felt like, oh, playing's like useless or playing's frivolous or you don't have time for that. You have to work. You know what I mean? And it's taken a few years to actually be like, you know what? I can play all I want. I'm not going to get in trouble if I play, you know?
Yeah. And I feel like, oh my God, I don't know if this has been your guys' experience, but the more you talk to people, like regular people about, the more you have courage to kind of talk about these things, the more you'll find that other people have experiences that they're not sharing, or they're having weird dreams, and they're like I talked to somebody the other day at my job, and she's like, oh yeah, I did this in my dream, and then I got tired of that, so I started to do something else. I was like, wait a second, you can control your dreams? You know what I mean? Like, what? I can't. Who can do that? That's incredible. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I just think, and so now everybody at my job comes to me. I'm like the weird girl, you know.
That's awesome though.
And they've had a weird dream or whatever. But I love it. I'm like, yes, give me all the weird stories, you know.
I had a dream the other night that a guinea pig fell out of a fireplace. Like it was up in the fireplace. First it was bats, and these bats were coming out of the fireplace, and I was like, "Oh crap, we gotta like catch these bats and let them outside." And then I turn and look to the fireplace, and this like guinea pig plops out, and I was like, "Oh, cute!" And then that was the dream.
That's I wonder what that means. I don't know. I think I've actually been getting into that a lot recently. Well, not a lot. It's been coming up naturally, but it crossed over pets, you know, animals. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I had a lady last weekend. She had 2 little corgis. They were brothers, and it was so sweet how it just comes up organically. I'm not like looking for animals, you know, but they just they've started popping up more recently. And so now I think it's like not a coincidence, right? I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I need to develop this a little bit more. So I was been thinking about taking a class, like animal communication class. And then I was like, well, really, I can communicate with anything that has a soul, right? So why couldn't I talk to your living pets? Right?
That's true.
Like it just goes on and on and on. It's incredible, and it's fascinating to me. So, yeah,
that's true. I mean, because you do mediumship, but you can also do readings on people, right?
Yeah.
I get so really you can do a reading on a live pet.
Yeah, I guess I've never tried before. You know what I mean? Like it's just I've never even like,
not even with your own pets.
So I've tried to connect with them telepathically, you know, and it hasn't, you know, I just, without having that validation, I think it would be hard. Like same with past lives. Like I've done past live stuff recently, and I don't enjoy it as much because I can't prove that that's real. You know what I mean? There's
I get it.
Yeah,
you like that validation to make sure your information is correct.
Yeah, unless you tell me like, oh, so if I had like a soldier, unless you tell me you were fascinated with World War II or whatever, then I'd be like, oh, okay, so that makes sense. But just like what Sage does, that would be so hard for me because I need that yes or no. Does it make sense? Like I do still, you know.
Maybe that's your next level though. You know what I mean?
I
Next
know.
level of trust.
Yeah. It's so hard.
I know.
That's a good stepping stone. I mean, going from doing mediumship with people to mediumship with animals, and then moving on to trying to read animals, and then kind of moving on to the past life stuff. Kind of like a stepping stone. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, who knows? I could be connecting with angels. I know I've connected with spirit guides before. But like people who do angel readings, you know, that's interesting. I'm like, how do you know? How do you know that that was an angel? I don't know.
Right. I was going to ask you, that's actually a good lead in. I'm very curious. What do you think? Where do you think people's information comes from? Like, what are spirit guides? Are they past relatives that have passed on, or are they ancient people that have never lived, or are they angels? Like, where does this information come from, do you think?
So, oh my gosh. So nobody really knows, right? Nobody really knows. And I don't think we'll have any answers until we're all dead. So we need to do this again on the other side, and then I'll have a better answer. But I feel like I have some theories. So I feel like spirit guides are assigned to you. And I feel like it helps them too. It's just a feeling I have. I feel like helping also helps the helper. I don't know. And I feel like some spirit guides will come in for a period of time and some are with you for the whole lifetime. I feel like you can have, well, I believe that everyone has a spirit team that consists of angels, ancestors, and spirit guides.
Okay.
So I feel like family can be on your spirit team, but as far as like, so like, if I connect with grandpa, you know, you have a grandpa on the other side, I get all kinds of feelings like what he was like and what he did for work and like how he feels about you. But when I'm connecting like psychically, and with spirit guides, it's more vague and symbolic. Like you were saying, it's really like you have to feel your way through it. And there's way more trust involved. And it's harder for me, to be honest, because it is so like, they're not directly speaking to you. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
so
actually.
it's like, it's hard. It's harder. But I don't think, I guess they could have had previous incarnations with you. I feel like they know you to the deepest level. They have to. And yeah, there are definitely people just like guiding you through and would probably meet you on the other side, talk you through a life review, you know, after you get done being Gwendolynn, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, because sometimes people need a sounding board, you know? You're like, well, what did you learn? I feel like spirit guides would go through that with you. But I don't, that's about all I got as far as spirit guides go. They're very interesting and unique, you know?
Yeah, that is interesting. And I like that you think your theory is that you have like this collective group of things that are around you at any given time. Because I mean, to me that makes sense because I always feel like there's like several things kind of in the distance around me all the time that have always been there, you know? And it's like there's this one, then there's this one, then there's this one. And you know, it's funny, there's three of them, and you mentioned three. So like there's the big one, and then there's the little chittery one, and then there's the one that, you know, is kind of like keeping track of information.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I think that people are not predisposed, but they have like certain deities that they would work best with. And so that's where the angels come into play. You know what I mean? Because like I've always had an affinity for Egyptian pantheon. I really like the Egyptian, you know, deities. And so I would want to work with them. And then I also have like, we're very complex beings, right? I have this witchy aspect of myself. And so I have like dedicated, you know, shrines to Hecate or Hecate, however you say it. But yeah, so I don't do a lot of deity work, but like it's all like different veins you can go down, you know what I mean? And you find your vein by how it feels. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Awesome.
And sometimes people have 5 different veins. You know what I mean? You know, I also like to give that permission slip. Like, don't box yourself in. Society makes us want to like dedicate our lives to like one thing and stick with one partner for the rest of your life. I just feel like we need to be a little more loose with ourselves sometimes. And some people are meant to have 3 different things that they're doing at once, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
Or free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Hmm.
I'm curious. Have you noticed, because in my own life, I have noticed, I've had kind of psychic experiences throughout my life. And when I was maybe in my early 20s, I would have these, it seemed like I always lived in a haunted house. Like every single house I lived in was haunted. And I would see these like shadow people and have these like kind of scary dream time experiences, like the paralysis and stuff like that. And then after I started consciously working with my energy and doing shadow work and, kind of clearing stuff out, I noticed my experiences got so much more benevolent and just a different quality to them. So I'm just wondering, what's your experience been with that? Like, how is the evolution has it changed much or?
So you're asking me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So like as far as with negative energies and benevolent energies, so I had some scary experiences too when I was younger. Reoccurring dreams and the shadow people, that was kind of scary. But to be honest, ever since my spiritual awakening, it's been, I've channeled some people who were assholes, pardon my French, but like I have not had any experiences with anything negative, nothing that scared me. And I had the pleasure of learning from someone who did not entertain that type of talk anyway. She's she's very down to earth, and she was very like, and my philosophy too is that I know the dark exists because it has to, right? Because of polarity. The light can't exist without the dark, and the dark can't exist without the light. So I know it's there, but I choose not to engage with it. And so I don't experience anything like that. I don't believe in curses. It just does not come into my reality because I don't engage with it. I think I'm so heavily in with the light that it can't permeate that. And I know that's not everyone's experience. I know other people who they've been pushed and hair pulled by spirits, and I don't know. I feel like some of that is because there's fear there, and there's an opening, I think, for it in their belief system. So, but I don't know everything about that either. Yeah. My experience has been incredibly beautiful for the most part. And I know that there is ickiness out there, but it's like I'm like have blinders on in the best way. And most people are more sensitive than I am. I still feel like a regular person some days. I still have to wake up and be like, I can talk to dead people. You know what I mean? Like I still feel, especially having the 9 to 5, I still feel very 3D sometimes. So I know people who have sensed spirit their entire lives and wish they could turn it off. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I used to be jealous of those people. I used to be like, man, I used to want it so bad. Like in the very beginning, I was like, oh my God, because I was so excited and I wanted to pursue it and get it done quickly. And I was very impatient. And it was like, you're trying too hard. Finally, somebody sat me down and was like, you're trying too hard. I was like, okay. So I had to relax. And that goes back to the, when we're relaxed, it's just things flow better. And I was putting too much pressure on it. And so, but now I've come full circle. And I'm like, I would not want to be that open ever. You know what I mean?
Right.
I
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. So
I guess more what I meant was so I had kind of an opening experience happen to me in 2019 where I saw a UFO and then it and I was on vacation and it kind of followed me back home. And then I just started getting all of this contact with like ships and like orbs in my backyard. And I would get, downloads from different beings and stuff. And it felt very galactic. And then after I moved here to the woods and I started interacting with the Sasquatch people more. And now it feels more like like fairy, like earthy, and very like the energies have just changed. I don't really get as much of the space stuff anymore. So I guess that's kind of more what I was wondering.
Yeah. So I think it's a cycle. It's probably a cycle of it's a good thing, I think. I think it would be concerning if things stayed the same all the time. You know what I mean? So embrace that, you know. And I know it's weird and you're like, wait, what happened? And it feels like once I get something down in my mediumship and then it shifts again, you know what I mean? So but I think we would get bored if it didn't, you know? So the interesting thing about the galactic, you were probably brought online exactly when you were meant to. They've been watching us for a long time, you know. If they wanted to exterminate us, they would have done it a long time ago. You know what I mean? You know, so I feel like we're like, you know, under a magnifying glass and a bunch of different beings are kind of watching us. And it does feel a little experiment, like we're being watched like an experiment. But they're benevolent and they're still around, even if you're not sensing them, right? And you could even joke with them. You could be like, "Where'd you go?" Like,
I do all the time. I'm like, "Where are you guys? I haven't seen you for a while.
Come back." You know how many times I'm so jealous. You know how many times I've been like, "Please let me see a UFO." I've never once seen a UFO.
Oh, really?
Not one time.
Well,
but
I mean,
regression, and I was an alien in that, so I was like, okay. Yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
That's probably why I like you.
Yeah, it makes sense. And like, I remember my junior high sewing project, you know, you could pick whatever you wanted. I chose an alien. And I'm like,
cool.
That makes sense. You know, I loved ET, you know, everything. So it's not a coincidence. And it's not a coincidence that we're all here talking either, you know?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So, I mean, I've seen kind of past life regressions, like not in person, but like on YouTube and stuff like that. So what is it like to be on the receiving end of getting that done? Like, what's the process and kind of what did it feel like? What did you experience? I'm curious.
So that was kind of towards the beginning of my, you know, spiritual awakening. So I had already like been doing the mediumship, and part of that is trusting your imagination. And adults, again, we're like, oh, that was nothing. I made that up, right? Like kids, they can tell you whole stories and it's just like so real for them because their imagination is just so intact. So anyway, I'm on my soapbox again, but it was a hypnotized, you know, so I lay down and she kind of guides you through, and I had been meditating, so that helped, right? It was, you know, after I finished it, I was like, had I not cried, I would have thought that I made the whole thing up.
Yeah.
Had there not been an emotional response at any point in time, I would have been like, did I make that up? I think I made that up. You know what I mean? Because I remember, and every time, like I have the recording now, I would question, like one of the lives was in Egypt. One of the lives was in Egypt. And I was a healer with my hands. And I would practice on goats. And my logical mind, when I was listening back to the recording, I asked, are there goats in Egypt? And she would just go back to your, you know, she would just redirect me back into it. But I would have moments where my logical mind, I was still fully in control, right? And able to analyze what I was experiencing. And so, but like I would recognize people from my life in this life, right? And I got emotional and and there are things, like you said, things that stick. There were things that you just feel like, yes, this is a truth for me.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you got to trust that. Most people know more than they think they do. Most people have like feelings in their core that they know to be true, but it's like you won't really listen until somebody else says that back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I noticed that I think that you experience a lot of self-doubt, like as far as needing that, you know, validation, and then always going back to your logical mind. But but I think, I mean, just by based on what you're telling me, what you can do, I think you're very talented. And,
Oh, thank you.
I think that you don't have any need for that self-doubt because I think you're very gifted.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's been 5 years now, right? I think. And I just keep exploring. And
Yeah.
I think that's all we can do, you know? I
Yeah.
don't ever claim to know anything about anything. I'm just like
Yeah.
finding out right along with you, you know? So I
That's
think it's been
very,
really
yeah.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got a QHHT. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Mhm.
So a
What is
quantum
it?
healing hypnosis technique. And that's a longer session. I was under for like 4 hours or something crazy.
Man.
And that one, it's kind of where you get to experience in between lives too. So you get to
Oh.
like meet your spirit guides and you get to like learn. It would be like learning why they decided to show you those lives. It was very healing. It was very healing. And I'll never forget, I was a star in the sky. Like I was like a
Aw.
burning blue star. And I
Wow.
will never forget the sound. It was like a burning, just constant.
Wow.
And that was one of the things that stuck with me. You know what I mean? And I was like, I think I decided to come to Earth because I was a star first and I was watching Earth for eons. And I think I had like FOMO. I think it was like, what's going on down there? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I think that's how it started. So,
Oh, that's so cool.
I love that. Like,
yeah.
it's like you had a lifetime that lasted a billion years, and then you're like, you know what? I want to try the flip side of that. Live like 80 plus. See how that
Yeah.
goes.
Oh man, if I only knew what I was getting myself into, you know.
I know. It's so
Yeah, it's
exciting
crazy.
though.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy how you
exciting.
can go down this rabbit hole sometimes, and you're like, you almost kind of have to bring yourself back to reality to like keep your sanity.
Yes, it's all about balance, man. It really
Yeah.
is.
Mm.
So I want to know about you. Tell me about you, Gwendolynn.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
I mean, what about? I mean, like,
Yeah, just how you got here.
okay, so when I
Share
was
with us.
12, I had a spiritual awakening.
12.
And
How cool.
yeah, I was very young, and it was just this, and it was weird because I remember the exact moment when all just flooded in, and it was like I felt like I was plucked out of the universe and put into my body in that moment. Like that's what it felt like. And
Cool.
and then that very same night or a couple nights later, I had this precognizant dream where somebody that I knew and cared a lot about had passed. And I woke up freaking out and telling my mom, woke her up, and I made her go check on him. And he'd passed. And from then on out, it was like shadows and voices and things being thrown and just like all this stuff happening around me constantly. So then that pushed me to figure out why. So that's when I started paranormal investigating. And I never really dove into the sensitive side of it comfortably I mean, like when it comes kind of, but to comfortably reach out and seek information about a location I'm in was years and years and years later. So because I always
Interesting.
feared it. I
Yeah.
feared it, so I explored it at the same time I was fearing it. And then finally it became less fearful because, after 10 years of living with something, it almost becomes normal. And
Desensitized. Yeah.
yeah, and it comes in cycles, and you can feel the energy building in the air before like all this crazy stuff starts to happen in my home. And when it dies down and it goes quiet for weeks or months or however long, it's almost like I feel like a piece of me is missing. Like the normalcy is gone. It feels almost lonely in a way.
Mm.
And then I'll feel it start to creep in. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And it's almost exciting to me now because I'm like, wonder what's going to happen. So, and it's just
That
this
is fascinating.
ever since I was young. Yeah.
Wow. See, and you're the people that I'm talking about. You're the natural. It's just there all the time. I mean,
Always.
well, it cycles, but yeah, that is
Yeah.
so cool. And so, do you interact with it? Like, tell me about that.
Not at home because when I give it attention, it tends to feed it. And I've raised my kids on my own, so if things are going on and scaring my children, I don't like it. And then and there's times where negative stuff has come in, and I've had to almost battle for my home back. But when my kids are moved out and I don't have animals to worry about, maybe I'll be more open to trying to communicate with whatever's coming through my home. Um, but right now it's just I still have a kid at home, I still have elderly dogs, and I've had things kind of pick at my dogs before and I've had to set ground rules and I never appreciated it. So I'm like trying not to feed that. But when
Yeah.
I'm at a location and I don't have to be concerned about, what's gonna build if I give it attention, I'm all for it. I'm out there trying to communicate with it.
Yeah. How interesting is that? I might have to pick your brain because next month I'm going to a haunted hotel. And I don't have a lot of experience with the paranormal side of it, so I might have to get some like tips and tricks because I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't. My experience is not it being scary, you know what I mean? But I know the paranormal, like that's kind of what they're advertising is the thrills, and I'm like, mine's like a counseling session.
Yes, mine has turned into that as well,
Really?
after years. I think the fear comes from the misunderstanding,
Yeah,
the lack of knowledge, and then that feeds fear, and a lot of times when you feed things, you tend to get the same thing back. Uh,
absolutely. Yes.
so when you're feeding fear and you're feeding anger and aggression, you could get that back. Like if I come into somebody's home and I'm like, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, demanding answers, you're gonna get, aggression back.
Yes. Yeah.
So when you go in with that mentality that you're there to understand, you're there to help, you're there to hear their story, I think it breeds a much more positive experience.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that. I
Yeah,
think that's what I'll go in with. And I think that's
yeah,
part it's a different kind of event. And she has said multiple times, the lady putting it on, that they want to understand about their spirits and why they're there. And that was the only reason why I agreed to do with it anyway.
yeah,
Because I want to there is a part of like me that wants to honor these people's stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And tell them in a way that's they would be proud, So yeah.
yeah. I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going in there with a positive intention to
Yeah.
listen rather than to investigate, to hardcore investigate is a proper
Yeah.
approach. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And
Yeah.
like not demand, you
Yeah.
know, like if you're here, you need to do something. Like it's very
Yeah.
performative.
Yes.
It's like no, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
I might actually say that like, "Hi, I know you're expecting thrills and stuff, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to scare you tonight. We're going to learn."
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'll
All
just
right.
I'll take a drink.
So, yeah.
So Megan, would you mind seeing if you could possibly, so my mom has passed and you obviously do mediumship. So I'm very curious if there's anything you can get or have come through with her or about her or from her.
Okay, yeah, yeah. So I can't control who comes through,
Yeah.
but we can do what's called a forced connection, and I can just give me her first name only, and I'll
Okay.
see. But
Okay.
she has her own free will, right?
Right.
So we'll
Yes.
see.
Yes. Yes. And I understand more than anybody. You can't just do it on calls. A lot of times it just happens when it happens. But her name is Sandra or
Okay,
yes. Or Sandy.
okay, okay. I'm just gonna feel around, and the only thing I want you to tell me is yes or no, or I don't know. Okay? Okay. Okay. She's definitely here, that's for sure. The first thing I feel is love. Love, love, love. She lights up my heart space. I also understand that you have siblings. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah. And dad is still alive. You would understand?
Yes.
Yes. And she's also kind of putting, I don't know if this is right, but she's like attributing her appearance to you somehow. Do you look like mom?
I don't know. Nobody's ever said I look like my mom.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay. Do you know
sorry.
if
Yes or
mom
no?
has glasses?
Yes, we did.
Okay. Okay, bear with
I
me
guess
one second.
okay, that might make sense because she never wore makeup until I started doing her makeup, maybe. That's what it is.
Okay, okay. Let me see. And mom and dad were still together.
No.
Okay, thank you. Interesting. They do feel close for some reason. I wonder if they had like a I wonder if they still had a like mutual respect for each other or something. Or if it doesn't feel like a messy breakup. I'm gonna leave that there. Let me see. Were they did they have a bad divorce?
So yes, I think I understand where you get conflicting things coming in. So I have my real dad and then I have my stepdad,
Oh, okay,
who,
okay.
well, I call it dad,
Okay.
who kind of raised me. So there might be some confusion there.
So stepdad kind of raised you more than real dad did?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Are both still alive, both dads?
My real dad is alive. My stepdad is not.
Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I could have sensed stepdad when I asked if they were still together because it felt like they were together in my head. Um, bear with me one second. She makes me feel like it's been several years. It's been at least 5 years since she's been gone.
5 years.
Yeah, yeah. She makes me feel like we've had some years without her. She makes me feel like you're the eldest. Are you the eldest?
Oh, I'm not, but I kind of like was the oldest as far as like
Responsibility.
personality, yeah, responsibility, personality, the way the family dynamics works.
Oh, okay, okay. As long as you can understand that.
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like you and two others. Is it 3 siblings total? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
So me and two more. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, yeah. She's very much with you and with them. You might let them know that she said that she came through tonight. I do sense a health issue as a cause of passing. Would you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like I get sick or something. And it was a long process, you would understand.
Yes. Unexpected, but it was a process. Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Would you understand we kind of knew something was coming? Did we
I did.
know? You
I
did.
did. Yeah.
Hmm. There's this feeling of like having notice, and I don't know why. So maybe that's coming from you. Hmm.
Yeah. I kept trying to tell her.
You did. Okay.
Yeah.
She makes me feel like she's with other family of hers, and I feel her dad, and I feel a sister for her. Did she have a sister?
She does have sisters. None are passed.
Okay, that's okay. Sometimes I can't tell.
Yeah.
Um, her dad is passed, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. And she has no sisters that have crossed though, right?
No, my grandma has passed and they looked identical.
Okay, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Oh man, she talks about you. You have 2 kids?
I have two in the home currently.
How many total?
3.
Thank you. Man, you must have been a young mother.
Hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like right out of high school is what. Were you 19 when you had your first
Yes.
kid?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. Um, she's talking about how long you've had to take care of other people. She's talking about how strong you are. Oh God, I might cry. She's talking about, oh, you must have left a pretty bad relationship from what I understand.
Yes.
I don't know if there was physical violence.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Sorry, I don't mean to get too,
Oh, that's
but
okay.
there's like a feeling of having to escape, of like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Yes.
And she's proud of you for this, and she knows how hard that was. And She says she wasn't the best example for what you should expect in a relationship.
That makes sense.
She's talking about I didn't give her the best examples.
You may
And,
think that.
and I think stepdad was good though. I think
Yeah.
stepdad, yeah. But there is this feeling of like, oh, you must have had oh, okay. You said real dad is still alive though, correct?
Hmm.
There's this feeling, I could be wrong about this, where dad leaves our life around 5. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so you must have some like abandonment. There could be some abandonment in there.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's in our lives one moment and he's completely gone the next.
Yeah.
And it's like it wasn't a slow drip. It was like he's gone.
Yeah.
Um,
Over.
yeah. And that was hard for a 5-year-old Gwendolynn, you know.
Yeah.
So, okay, what else? She's talking about you being in survival mode for a long time, many years. And now you're kind of getting out of it, or you've been out of it for a few years, maybe. And she's talking about it's been a pleasure to watch you from here. And she says, I can help too. And she says, I'm your angel now. I'm just your angel now. She keeps making me feel stepdad. I think he might be in with that. I think he might have had I think he might have been a good father figure for you and, you know, present as a father figure, I think. And there's love there that I can feel. So stepdad is in there with it. She talks about you. You must have teenagers. She talks about you wondering whether you're doing the mothering thing right. She's like, you're hard on yourself when it comes to parenting, and you've got this big question mark like, well, I don't even know if I'm doing this right. And and everyone feels that way. Yeah. Every parent feels that way. We're just literally making it up as we go along, doing the best we can with what we have. And do you have a daughter that's a teenager right now?
Yes. Yeah.
How old is she?
She's 19.
Okay. She's still in the home or no?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Oh, but she's going to school? Is she going to school?
No.
Interesting. Is she thinking about going back to school or she just got done with it?
No, I am drilling her about going to school, starting school.
That's what it is. That's what it is. Oh man. You are so your oldest is a boy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's doing pretty well for himself from what I can tell. And daughter, though, she wants to be independent. I can feel it. She's like, get me out of this house.
Yeah.
She's like, I can do this better myself. She absolutely thinks she knows better. And
yes.
It's so funny. Okay, so what's going to help, though? Are we giving her options, like to choose what she wants to go back to school for, or is it like you're going to school and this is what, like, how is it right now?
No. I very much am the type of parent that tries to steer, but still let them have some freedom of choice. So I'm just really pushing her to do more, whether it be trade school or college.
Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. They keep you're not gonna like this. But they keep making me feel like hands off, like a little more hands off. They make me feel like pulling back a little bit.
Mhm.
Then they make me feel like it's like they give me the energy of reassurance. Like it's going to be okay. She's going to make the right decision, but she's going to do it on her own timeline. That's like what it is. And this is like a daily conversation we have.
Mhm. Almost daily, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not even
Kinda.
about the school, it's just about things she should be doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like the relationship is still very much parent child. I kind of want you to look at your relationship that you have with your son and see if we can kind of apply some of that towards the daughter. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like because she wants to be treated as an adult,
Yeah.
even though she's not. She's pretending, right?
Yeah.
She's not.
100%.
She has none of the responsibility. She doesn't actually know what it entails, right? But she very much wants to be viewed as an adult. And technically,
Mhm.
Mom, she is. So
Yes. Yeah.
I think starting to change a little bit towards that within reason, right? Like,
Yeah.
I like that you're giving her a choice. Maybe dropping a seed of like, I think it's going to be more trade, honestly, Mom. Sorry. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be, I don't think that's a bad thing. That's
No.
less debt. You know what I mean?
I think trade is where it's at these days, honestly.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because then
Yeah.
the turnaround's quicker and you're making money right out the gate, right?
Right.
So relax. I think it's going to be okay. She's going to decide. She's going to decide soon. Makes me feel like the fall, like she'll start in the fall, maybe. I could be wrong about that, but just keep that in your back pocket. Yeah, it's almost like standing back and waiting to see what she's going to do.
Yeah. That's going to be hard.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. It's the
Yeah.
hardest.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're gonna have to bite your tongue here and there. But I think that you know that you've raised good people.
Yes.
And she will make the best decision for her, right? And I think it's going to be a trade, and if anything, all she needs from you is support. And like kids, well, young adults love it when you let them lead, like when you're like, well, what do you think?
Mhm.
What are you interested in?
Yeah.
Well, how do you feel about trade school? You know what I mean? They really like, because their whole lives we've been like, you have to do this and you have to do that and you have to do this.
Yeah.
And eventually it's like, wah, 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 like they don't hear it
Mhm.
anymore. And
Yeah.
so I'll just leave you with that. Just that
Yeah.
you could be like, well, do you want to do hair?
Yeah.
Or you know, or like throwing things out there that are in with her interests,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, there's a lot of things there, especially when it comes to Ezra, that was like spot on, like with the whole, like, I very much am like pushing her to do a certain thing, not towards her career path or, but she has a child and it's me, her child, her fiance, my son. So I'm very much
Oh,
pushing her, to get your own place,
um,
get your own place, which she wants to. But at the same time, I don't want to push her so hard that she feels like she needs to jump into something that won't be good for her and the baby in the end. So it makes a lot
right.
of sense. And I mean, she's growing to be a very wonderful young woman. She's growing her family, and I want to give her time to do that. But at the same time, we're all kind of going crazy in the house together. So,
Yeah, that's valid. That's
yeah,
real, right? You know, that's like,
yeah,
geez. And it's so hard to find affordable housing right now.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really bad. I have a 19-year-old at home too, so I know
yeah.
how that feels.
Yeah. No, the
It's
reason she
exhausting.
moved home is because she got pregnant and their house was entirely too tiny, or their place was entirely too tiny to raise a family in. So everything happened as it should, but now like we're all kind of like, driving each other crazy in
Yeah.
a lot of the best ways. I mean, we're a family. That's what we do.
Yeah, I love it, hate it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
100%.
think
100%.
yeah, I think you never know. Things are always shifting, always changing.
Mhm.
You can ask them for help and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
have some opportunities arise.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really
my
good. I really appreciated that reading. And there's so many things that you were spot on. And then the things that were kind of a little confusing, I can understand where that confusion comes in because I had two father figures throughout my life. So I feel like it's easy to get those kind of like mixed up, because I
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
view them both differently in different ways, but they're both dad, so
Yeah. Yeah. And that makes sense. That makes sense.
yeah.
Absolutely. Interesting. Well, oh, your mom loves you. That was very sweet.
Yeah.
She
She
just,
was my
I felt
best
like a Care
friend.
Bear.
Yeah, she was just the best woman ever. She just had the best heart.
Yeah, she felt very sweet.
Thank you.
And you
I
should ask
appreciate
her
that.
for help, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
with your daughter, because she can hear
Yeah.
you, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just call out to her and be like, "Mom, I love you."
Yeah, and she knows
Yeah.
that. She knows,
Yeah.
Okay, so Gina, you're up next.
Sure. By the way, like when you started doing your rummaging around in the ethers, I could totally feel that in my crown.
Really?
I felt my crown just like blew open. Yeah, and I
My
could feel
heart
that.
was fluttering. It's like
Yeah,
the whole time.
man. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like we
and
all kind of went up a little bit,
yeah, well, it's because you and I are connected already, so
Mm.
that connection's already established. But yeah, it's probably, well, it's all energy. We're all just like swimming in it,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, and this is a group thing, so
Mhm.
yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Well, so I have a question about a situation that happened during my birthday last November. Should I just
Okay.
leave it at that?
Yeah.
And then if anything else comes in, that's totally fine.
Okay, so it's something that happened on your birthday last year, right? Okay.
Yeah.
It definitely feels spiritual in nature. It's not something 3D. It's definitely something out of the ordinary, I would understand. And feels like communication. Communication. Hang on one second, I'm gonna keep feeling. There's also a feeling of like synchronistic feeling in there too, like timing was important. Would you understand that? Yeah, it's like timing was very purposeful. I don't know why. This is interesting. They're giving me like cogs of a clock, the way they like fit perfectly into each other. And it makes me feel like this moment, whatever it was orchestrated
Mm.
like a chess game. Like, you know how you have to think ahead when you make a chess move?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it feels like. So it feels like arranging it in some fashion. This might be from your spirit guides. I don't know. Can you confirm it was spiritual? It was like
Mm-hmm.
yes, okay, it was something wacky. And
Yes.
was communication involved with like another
Absolutely.
being?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. That's what I'm feeling. Feels like at night. I could be wrong about
Yep.
that. Oh, at
Nope, it
night.
was.
Okay. Okay. Ooh, you know what I just heard in my brain? Intergalactic traveler. That's what I just heard.
Okay.
I don't know if they're talking about you or the whatever you were communicating with. I think it's you.
Mm.
I think you're the intergalactic traveler. And then as I feel that, it's like I know you communicate with all kinds of different beings, even like ones that you're not consciously aware of.
Mm.
Have you ever connected with like a mantis being?
Yeah, I have an aspect who is a mantis. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And so they're talking about you having like all of this ability to communicate with all kinds of different beings. Okay. But hang on one second. It's so funny. It's like you can have a house full of people and you can have this split second of communicating with something and nobody else realizes it. And then you go back to normal.
Yeah, it
That's
is
exactly
kind of
what
like that. It's kind
yeah,
of like that. Yeah,
yeah. It's like, did nobody else just witness that? That's kind of what it
exactly.
feels
That's
like.
exactly. Yeah.
So is this like it's not a UFO? Is it a UFO sighting?
You tell me.
Let me feel into it a little bit more. Were you outside when this happened?
I was kind of whatever it was outside.
Were you looking outside when this happened?
I was looking outside of a glass patio door
Yeah,
window.
yeah. All I can see is like darkness. I know there's stars out. Okay. Did you see eyes?
Oh yeah.
And you were the only one that saw it, and that's on purpose. Interesting. Did you see like a little, was it little?
I can't tell what size it was, but no, I won't tell you anymore. I can't tell.
Okay, okay.
Could have been little.
That's okay. I'm getting ET vibes from it. But I don't know. It was watching, definitely an observer, and you felt it. Your eyes were pulled, and whatever it was, oh, you made eye contact with this thing. Yeah, it's like she knows I saw it, and I know she saw me, and I don't feel anything negative about it. I feel very neutral, curious, and I don't feel scared at all. So I don't feel any sinking feelings. I think this, whatever it is, I think it's a small gray alien, is what I think it is. If I had to guess, that's what I would guess. And I think it was curious. And I think it was, wait a second. I think this being might know you. Yeah, in some way. Definitely watching. That's what it was doing there, was watching. Beckoning. Interesting. Yeah, trying to get your attention. Yeah. Why? I don't think it's going to tell me why. That's interesting. I feel a block there. Feels like privacy, like it's none of my business. Okay.
Man, I'm feeling so much energy. I'm like a Mexican jumping bean over here.
Yeah, this is like, yeah, this is interesting. I think this little thing knew you and wanted to get your attention, but it's not telling me why, and feels male and has known you. In like a funny way, it gives me a feeling of like, oh, I know her mom or something, like the way a human would say that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, I know her mom, I know her grandma or whatever.
Like
the energy of it, of like, I know her. And maybe some of your other like galactic family. That's interesting. I don't think you thought it was an alien though.
I don't know if it was or not. Do you want me to tell you the story?
So yes, I do.
Okay, so we're done with the reading.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story.
Yeah.
Oh man, if I can get it out, I'm feeling so like buzzed right now. Well, I went out to the Chequamegon-Nicolet National Forest in Wisconsin for my birthday. You might know this story, Gwendolynn. I don't know.
Yes, I knew. After a minute, I realized what the story was.
Yeah, and I have kind of an old mentor. His name's Kawani Lapsaritis, and he told me like 2 years ago or something that the Sasquatch people wanted to work with me in those woods. And I was like, I'm never going there. Why would I go there? But it just kind of like nudged and kind of like, come on, it's time to go. And so my birthday was on the 12th. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. So we rented a cabin for 2 days and we get to the cabin. And the very first thing that I do is I cut an apple into 4 pieces. And I made a little bracelet, for the spirits of the forest. And I went out there and I put the apple on the ground and I put the bracelet in a tree. And I was like, hey guys, my name is so-and-so. And this, I'm here to see what's up. And I looked up to the sky and I saw an orb shoot past. And I'm like, okay, they're definitely watching, And so we go in the house. It's like a little cabin. And we make dinner and put on a movie. And there was like a flat screen TV on the wall right next to this sliding glass patio door. And normally I would have closed the blinds, because who wants to stare out into the darkness? Like, it's kind of creepy,
Yeah.
But that time I was like, you know what? I'm just going to leave it open. We'll see what happens. And so we're watching a movie. And then all of a sudden, like my whole body starts vibrating. Like it starts in my hands and my feet, and then my crown, and then my chest. And it's the same feeling I have right now where it's like, "Brrr." And the dogs were laying on the couch and all 3 of them like poked their heads up and they're like, what's up? Something's afoot. And I was like, it's all right, guys, chill out. It's just our friends, But Elena, my wife, was like laying in this lazy boy sort of chair closer to the window than I was, but she was facing a different way. So she couldn't see that angle. But so I was watching, and then all of a sudden I was like, I'm going to look towards here. And as I looked at the window, this thing kind of like phases in and like glides past the window and then phases out. And to me, what it looked like was like almost like you hold up a shag carpet, like a piece of carpet, like a rectangular shape, and it just glided past. And it was red and brown and very shaggy. It was definitely hair. But it just glided past the window, like faded in and then faded out. And I was shocked. I was like, holy shit, what was that? Oh my gosh. Like my whole body went cold and I'm just like, buzzing. And it was the weirdest thing. But then later on, I went to bed and there was another window in the bedroom and I looked out to see the stars, and I looked down and there's like some bushes on the edge of the property. And I saw 2 pairs of glowing eyes. And I was like, are those eyes? Because I thought maybe they could be like lights or, like tea lights or those lamps that they put out. But they were like swaying. They were like swaying like this. And I was like, okay, that's my buds. All right. So then I opened up my heart chakra and I was like, here's some love for you. And then I felt it come back, and it was like this communication, this like energy communication. And I went and laid down in the bed, and I have this, I don't know. It's like this thing that I do when I clear the grids, when I do grid work and I like clear the energy. The whole thing just like turned on, and my whole body was just like this. It felt like this giant land clearing machine. Like I wasn't even in control of it. It was just like, and it just went like, and I could tell they were helping me. Like they were working with me. So
yeah, that is so cool.
And then
I told you, like you're the radio tower. I call her the radio tower. She's just like can reach all these frequencies so far out, I feel. Or that's how I perceive your energy after reading you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you think about Sasquatch and being tied in with the Earth's frequency too, right? Like, right. Sasquatch is just too anchored into that. And that's probably how they can phase in and out. I don't know. It's fascinating. And I think you opened the door to me connecting with Sasquatch, because I had some synchronicities after I met you around Sasquatch. And I was like, oh, that's
funny. Really?
Mm-hmm.
I told you that would happen. Cool. That's happened to a few people.
Yeah.
But like the next night, because we spent 2 nights there and we had a fire in the backyard. I didn't tell my wife any of this at all. Like it passed, whatever it was, passed by her, not even 5 feet away. But she wasn't looking, you know what I mean? And I was just like, I'll put the lid on that for a little while. Maybe some other time. Yeah. But then the next night we're having this fire in the backyard, and it's, it's beautiful. It's so peaceful. And like, we're just watching the fire. And then all of a sudden we hear in like miles away or something, it's like, and it just goes on forever, and it's so echoey. And my wife was like, "What the shit was that?" And I was like, "I could tell you, but you wouldn't believe me, you know?"
Yeah, that right there is a Sasquatch.
Yeah,
Very
it went
cool.
on for minutes. It was like, so it felt like they were singing at us, to
That
us.
is so cool.
Wow.
So
That is
yeah,
so cool.
that was that experience. But you read me one other time when I had a different experience in Oregon, and again, you were like, "This feels ET," but it was.
I did say that? Oh.
Yeah, you did say that, and I feel like they do work a lot with ETs.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a
yeah.
lot of belief in that.
Yeah, and I could, not be able to distinguish the energies either because technically they're interdimensional, right? So ET's interdimensional. I don't know, maybe it's the same frequency, but who knows,
Yeah,
I
you
think
nailed it though.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
thank you.
Megan, in your defense, I'm sensitive to vibes from different things and people. And when I first felt, I witnessed what a lot of people would call a dogman, but this creature, when I felt it, it was like unlike any feeling I'd ever felt before, unlike any feeling. And so it was a very alien feeling. And
Oh.
then when I experienced a Sasquatch or a Bigfoot, it was unlike any feeling I'd felt before. And if I hadn't felt one versus the other, I would have nothing to reference it to. You know
That
what I
makes a
mean?
lot of sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. It's alien to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's interesting. I would love to connect with Sasquatch more. Maybe we can open those lines up tonight, like,
There you go.
yeah, because, and I mean, I try to connect with aliens, but like, I really just want to see one. I really just want to see it, with my eyes. Because all of my communication's all up here, it's all, sometimes I do want that real life, experience. So orbs
I
are
crave
cool.
that, yeah. Like the visuals.
Yeah. Have you ever had anything like that? Seen anything?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, so I have never seen a Bigfoot, but when I'm out researching a Bigfoot areas and I can feel these things near me, and then you hear a rock throw 2 minutes later, I can only attribute that to Bigfoot. And that feeling that feels very alien, unlike anything I felt before, I feel like, well, that must be a Bigfoot. It feels different than the Dogman that I did see with my own eyes. So, but as far as Bigfoot, I've never seen a Bigfoot. I've seen what people call a dogman. I struggle to call it a dogman though, just because I'm like you. I'm like, there's the self-doubt, like, it wasn't the typical stand up on two legs. It didn't, all these typical things that people describe, it didn't have, but all the features it did, like the scary experience. Mine wasn't super scary. So I struggle to call it a dogman, but that's like the only cryptid I've ever seen. And that's probably one of the more taboo ones that people look at you and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool though.
Hey Megan, could you try to tap in and see if you can get any information on Dogman?
So
that would be weird.
So full disclosure, I've had a nightmare about like a wolf, what I called a wolf man. And I was like fighting him, and it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And it was like, like running around a car. It was like a horror movie. So there might be, I don't want to call in anything, if I have any fear, then I won't, what I mean?
Well, you don't have to. I mean, I don't want to make you do
How
anything.
did you feel when you, like, what was your experience negative or?
It was scary in that there was this massive creature that could nab me at any moment and like run off with me and nobody would know. That fear, like totally natural. But as far as it feeling like it wanted to threaten or intimidate me, not at all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that too.
It seemed very sickly almost. It almost gave me the vibe of like something that was going somewhere private to die. That's what it felt like.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was very, it's so uncharacteristic of the normal dogman experience that I think that's why I struggle to call it dogman, because I felt like I witnessed something that nobody else has really witnessed, like maybe this dogman going off to die. And before I even knew that there was a such thing as dogman, I called it a werewolf. I was like, I've seen this werewolf. And then I found out about Dogman, and everybody's like, "That you saw a Dogman." I'm like, "Wait, what's a Dogman?"
Yeah.
So
That's funny. Cryptids is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, the way it just crawled across the ground, it felt very, it felt like it had a target, an intention, and it wasn't, like, anything bad. It just felt like it had, like, this goal, this destination, and then it saw me, and it was like, "Oh, curious," and then it was like, "Okay, back to business," and then it went back to what it was doing.
Huh.
Um, yeah, it was just weird.
Yeah, that's definitely a unique experience.
Yeah,
And I mean, who's to say you could have witnessed a dog man going off to die? Like you, like
yeah,
that's could have been real, right?
yeah,
Who's to say? So I could try. I've never done it before. I can't promise anything, but
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll just go for a few minutes, and then I do have to hop off. Okay, guys.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
of course. You've been
Awesome.
such a trooper. I appreciate all
Yeah,
of this.
Megan,
It's
you're the
wonderful.
best.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let's see. Let's. Okay. Yeah, I definitely have the energy of it for sure. I'm hot. Um, all of a sudden. So I'm just getting sensations right now. It feels old, very, very old. Um, whoa, feels kind of like a curse. That's interesting.
Hmm.
Feels primal in nature, like instincts run the show, kind of. Yeah, there's like no higher cognitive function from what I feel. Interesting. Yeah, like its thoughts are like food, sleep, food. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I'm feeling. Definitely scary looking.
Hmm.
Um, let me see. Um, interesting. I feel multiples. There's more than one. I feel North America. Okay. They're not werewolves. They're definitely different. Yeah, they don't care about the full moon. That's funny. Um, interesting. But they're loners. They don't like travel in packs. They're by themselves and they're like scattered. And um in general, I don't feel like they eat people or anything. I think there may
Hmm.
be like one or two that gave them a bad rap.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, there was like one. Ooh, he compared him to like Lucifer or Satan and the way that people believe about him. And so everybody thinks that they're all like that one. Yeah. Interesting. I gotta be honest, now it feels like I'm communicating with the higher self of this being because I don't think if I was communicating with this being directly, there's no cognitive function that I can feel of like thought process other than survival instincts.
Hmm.
So interesting. What else? Much, okay, much, much bigger than a wolf. I feel huge. Now I feel like I'm it. And I stand up on two legs when I want to. And I'm not evil. I look scary and I do hunt. Okay. But I'm not hunting people, I don't feel. And feel about people. Hang on a second. I feel like I avoid people, but every once in a while I have run-ins with them, and it's like it's like a deer in headlights. Like we both freeze, and they know that they're different. Okay, they know they're not wolves. They know they're not dogs. Weird. They just made me feel evolution. Okay. Like they've evolved. Okay. Okay. All right. A lot of it is legendary. It's legends. And so what we think of Dogman is not really what it is what I'm feeling. And there was like one or two really bad ones that like everybody thinks now they're all bad. Interesting. Ooh, they made me feel extinction, like they don't reproduce. Then how are they still here? Is my next question. I don't see I don't see that. I don't get any answer for that. Um, feels like they're by themselves and they're scattered amongst North America and some other countries. Um, but like they don't have families. They're by themselves. Interesting. I wonder if in all the stories if they were ever seen with like two or more.
Yeah.
I think really? Then maybe this one that I'm connecting with is just by itself. I don't know.
Not often. Some of the more aggressive reportings, or some of them were multiple, but it's pretty uncommon.
Oh, okay.
Multiple in one sighting.
Interesting. Oh, they make okay. It makes me feel like they're very individualized. Like some of them are curious about humans and do explore further than this particular one does. And that we're all different like you is kind of what it feels like. And but most of us are it's like different worlds separate from each other. Humans and them are separate. Are we talking dimensions or I don't think they're interdimensional. I don't think they are. I think they're 3D like we are. Just a theory, obviously. Um, anything else? It's mostly survival. It's mostly survival mode. Um, definitely feels like I can feel the animalistic. I can feel the instinctual thinking. I can feel there's no like planning. It's like just existing. Interesting. Well, I'm gonna leave that there.
Yeah, I do want to touch on a few things that you said that kind of correlates with some of the vibes I got from it.
Okay.
So at first you said there was this very animalistic sort of focus, this instinctual thing that they have. And I felt that in the moment, but there was also this like almost secondary perception. Like a lot of things, like you said, are in the moment, but then there's also this cognizant thought at the same time. Like they run on instinct, but then they're also able to have cognizant thoughts because it felt like it had this thought process about me when it recognized I was there. But then
Mm.
it was kind of gone again. Um, but when I saw this thing, it almost felt like created, like which would explain maybe not being able to reproduce. It almost felt created, like it was created rather than a long line of things.
Right.
Um,
Right.
and I've often wondered, are these kind of interdimensional? I know you said it didn't feel like interdimensional, but a solid interdimensional thing that kind of skipped from one place to another and kind of got stuck. Sometimes I've often wondered that, like, is this thing accidentally ended up here and now it's just kind of stuck? Which would
Right.
explain the survival mode.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like a bleed over from another dimension. Like
Yeah, it's
I
fully
think,
solid. This thing was
yeah,
fully solid.
yeah, like could see the fur, I'm sure.
Oh,
And
everything.
yeah. But like I feel like we're going in and out of dimensions too.
Yeah,
So who knows? I don't know. Who knows?
yeah,
You know? But
yeah,
that's cool. That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you hit on a lot of really great things that I also kind of picked up in that moment. Uh, Fear aside, like I probably would have been able to pick up on more if I had been scared for my life, but
Yeah, no kidding. How could you not though? That's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I know that you said you have to go. I do want to ask, so are you open to doing readings on other people? Do you kind of encourage that? Do you kind of like that practice of being able to speak with different people, read different people? Is that something you're currently doing?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I encourage that. And just like I said, exploring and
Yeah,
trying different things.
yeah. So
Yeah,
where
I
can
have
people
a
reach out to you?
I have a website. It's
Oh, yeah.
healingacrossdimensions.net. And make sure you put the net instead of the com because that'll take you somewhere else.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm offering readings and you can read more about me on my website. Yeah.
Awesome. You've been
So
such
much
a trooper.
fun.
Thank you
Yeah.
guys for having me. This was a great
Oh,
time.
you're amazing. The amazing Megan.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you for coming on.
It was nice
Um,
meeting you. Yeah.
Same to
yeah.
you.
I'll put all of your information in the description and so people can find you. And yeah, awesome. Maybe you can
Cool.
come back again sometime.
I would love that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you
Cool.
so much, Megan.
All right.
Bye.
See you later. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
So that was pretty fun. Did
That
you
was
get your
awesome.
answers? Did you get what you
Yeah.
needed?
Yes and no. I felt like, yes, she was really there, my mom. Was the exact answer I was looking for? Not necessarily, but a lot of great helpful information that's affecting me in my current life. So I was
Mm.
really grateful for that. And I think she was such a trooper being willing to come on here and do these live readings on us and for us. And I mean, if it were me, I'd be like, oh heck no. I'm not no. But
Right.
yeah, she was great. And she's good. She's very gifted.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Well, I bet you could probably get like a private reading with her and then you can ask all the stuff you need to
Yeah.
ask. I mean that was another thing. It was like just have it be open-ended and we'll see what happens. And yeah, I mean she nailed it for what
Yeah.
happened with me. I mean,
Yeah.
oh
That
man,
was really good. That was really good.
yeah.
There was a lot of confusing little bits of information that I'm sure was a hard puzzle piece for her to put together. But as far as being able to understand the concept of the messages coming through, she definitely hit it for sure. And she got like
Yeah.
the 5 years and she's been passed for 5 years. It was 5 years old. My dad, like she got all of it. It was like spot on. I was like, gave me
Mhm.
chills. My daughter's age. It was, yeah,
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
really good.
that's I feel like because I've gotten, like I practice with her every once in a while. And when I was going through some stuff with my own family, like I didn't even really know what to ask. I had questions about how to go about it and stuff like that, but the guidance that I got back from, the people, the beings around me was so much more helpful than the
Yeah.
original, whatever I would have been able to ask. It was like,
Mhm.
um, I don't know. It's almost like they're around you all the time and they can read you like a book.
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And I do want to say that I think a lot of people are very hard on mediums because they don't understand just how confusing the messages can be sometimes and how it can get mixed up in translation. Um, and the fact that, Megan was able to hit on so many accurate points. I mean, kudos to her.
Mm,
Um, but if people just only knew, just how confusing it is to read through the messages, the stuff that's just like flying in, and she has to puzzle it all together in her head. Yeah, like,
yeah.
people just need to understand that, I think, because, a lot of people don't understand it because they don't get the information like Megan does. I mean,
Right.
I don't fully get the information like Megan does that I can understand because I get stuff periodically and I'm like, man, how am I supposed to understand this? And, you know,
Well, yeah. I mean, so much of it is symbolic. And is it, what do these symbols mean personally to you? It's like, how does one person interpret that for another person? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so yeah, she is so good. Like,
yeah, she's
it blows
great.
me away.
She's
Yeah.
great. I'm just so thankful, Gina, that you have introduced me to her because, I think I'd love to reach back out again, maybe try to get a private reading, something a little more in depth rather than on the air that I can ask questions and kind of seek this sort of response,
Yeah.
more guided towards what I was looking for. Not answer feeding, but like guiding the reading a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. You should. I think you should. Well, shoot. Okay, we're almost at 2 hours. What do you
Yeah.
say? Should we call it?
Yeah, I think we're good. Yeah, this
Okay.
was wonderful. I think it's a great show. So thank you so much,
I think
Gina.
this is fun. We should do more of
Yeah,
these.
I agree. Like you said, once a month if we can. Yeah.
Okay. Everybody, we're gonna end the recording. If you could stick around for a second, that would be
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
I hope you guys liked it, and you will see more in the future. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.